Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show right here on the internet. And well, normally our show starts at 5 p.m. But today, I kind of had this spur of the moment video project come up that's relevant to the episode tonight. So at like 4 o'clock, I was out in the greenhouse shooting the last segment of the video I'm about to show you. And well, it has to do with our Memorial Day sale coming up this weekend. And if you're watching on YouTube and you've seen the title of tonight's episode, yeah, it's going to be interesting. So let's check it out.
Oh yeah, dig it, plant freaks. It's Geranium Mania 2025. And the Macho Man is here to slam down the savings. We're talking two 10-inch geranium baskets bursting with floral power. For just 37 bucks. Normally $20.99 each. But we're dropping them harder than a flying elbow from the top rope. Oh yeah. But wait, brother, that ain't all. Step into the cage match of savings with caged tomatoes. Two for $25. Normally $16.99 a pop, but we're locking them down tighter than a headlock on Hulk Hogan. These tomatoes are ready to grow, snap, and pop in your garden. Yeah. The ring is hot, and the deals are hotter. Geranium Mania 2025, where flowers and tomatoes fight for garden glory. Two geranium baskets for 37 bucks. Two caged tomatoes for 25. Don't be a jabroni. Get to Bob's Market before these deals get body slammed out of sight. Yeah. Geranium Mania 2025. Be there, be square. Oh yeah.
There we go. It helps if I don't mute myself. And I should be able to hear myself. I've got on headphones. Okay. Thanks, Anna, for letting me know. Yeah, so it might take a second to buffer and catch up. But anyhow, it is 63 and rainy out right now. It was pouring the rain down earlier here in Mason. But we're looking at most of the rain moving out of the area right now. But we're going to have some damp weather tomorrow and then also on Thursday. And Thursday, it looks like the temperature is going to drop down to right around 60 for the high. So yeah, it's gonna be a little chilly out on Thursday for the Lafayette Bicentennial in Gallipolis, which I'm gonna be there shooting some video and taking photos. But yeah, come on down and check it out. It's going to be a fun event. And also, I think Gallipolis in Bloom is going to have like a special display set up for the event. And there's a lot of other really cool stuff going on. So, yeah, this weekend, like I said, or was saying, but I was muted. We have our geranium baskets and tomatoes on sale. And, well, I have to watch what I click on now because I've got the arena set up, which was completely muted a second ago. But, but yeah, so that's our Memorial Day sale. I thought that I would also share kind of a helpful, little gardening video this week. So one of the things that I did, let's see, it would have been about a week ago, is I planted some little herb containers for inside my kitchen. So we heard that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be uploading that video separately as a whole feature on Facebook later. So that's going to be fun. Anyhow, I planted a little herb garden for my kitchen. And that's something that you can do this time of year. Oh no, wave petunias are sold out. Hopefully, I think we still have some that we should be getting in, maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that, so you might want to check back in with your local store and see if they've got them back in stock. Anyhow, let's jump into the second video for this evening, which is me just planting a couple herb containers for in my kitchen. I talk about it in the video, but my garden is kind of out far away from my house, so I always grow my herbs inside of my windowsill in the kitchen. That way they're just right there, and as I'm cooking, I can pinch them off and chuck them in. So the two things that I planted were thyme and basil. And like this past week, I was making some soup. It was kind of an Italian-y type soup. So I took the opportunity to pinch off my basil, chuck it in the soup, and it just added that much more flavor to it. So let's check that out. Hi, John Morgan here, and I am outside on now kind of a drizzly day to talk about herbs. So here at Bob's, we have our own line of herbs, the Karina's Kitchen Herbs, which goes along with Karina's Kitchen on our website, where we share recipes weekly. So if you haven't checked it out, head over to bobsmarket.com. And at this point, we have over 10 years worth of weekly recipes on the website. Today, I'm going to be planting these herbs, not for outside, but they're actually going to go into the house and set on a sunny windowsill. So I've got 2 pots here, and it's just going to be a simple job of taking these and repotting them into a little bit bigger pot. And they're just going to hang out in my kitchen, kind of right behind my coffee maker, in a spot where they're handy when I'm cooking. My vegetable garden, it's a little bit further away from my house, so I don't have an herb garden out there. I always just grow herbs directly in my kitchen. And normally, during the wintertime, I do that from seed. But this time of year, I can get already mature plants that I can plant, and they'll look beautiful. So let's get started. The first thing that I need to do is put a little bit of potting mix right in the bottom of the container. And I just have, this is some Miracle-Gro seed starting mix. You don't really have to be too specific with the potting mix that you're using. Maybe I hold it out here off the table. But I'm putting, based off this size container and this pot, I'm putting about that much soil in the bottom. And it is going to pack down a little bit, so kind of keeping that in mind also. And then I'm going to have to grab handfuls here in a little bit to fill in around the edges. So what I have that I'm planting is summertime. Like it's time summer. And I also have this one. It's called Kitchen Minis, and this is bonsai basil. So, as the name implies, Kitchen Minis, this is perfect for what I'm doing, transplanting it and adding it to my kitchen. And what I'm going to do to get things started, since this soil is fresh from the bag and it's really dry, I'm going to go ahead and kind of pre-wet my soil in the bottom of the container. Now, another thing that I have to keep in mind with this, these containers, I didn't drill a drainage hole in the bottom. Now, you might be saying, ooh, that's kind of dangerous. Yeah, so you have to keep a close eye whenever you do this and make sure that you don't overwater. Especially something like thyme, it likes to dry out a little bit. And the thing that I just absolutely love about planting herbs is already this smells amazing. So I've kind of got it pressed in there. It actually filled in really nicely. And now I'm just going to take a handful of soil, tuck in around it. Grab another handful here. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm taking my fingers and pushing them down along the edges. You know, I'm literally taking a square peg and putting it in a round hole. So I'm kind of feeling for those spaces. And then just kind of tamping soil in around them. And this time, I mean, I can kind of work it around here where it's kind of viney. You can actually just, it's almost like combing your hair. You can just sort of move it around however you need to. There we go. And yeah, smells absolutely amazing. So that guy is pretty much done. And now we have our little bonsai here. And this stem, it is broken. And I don't have my pocket knife with me for once, but I could just take my thumbnail and kind of break it off. But yeah, it had a little bit of damage there on the bottom. So I'm just going to discard that. Pop our root ball out. That is just some beautiful roots on there. And now we can press it in. And this didn't spread out like the thyme did. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more packing in around it. That is the benefit of using something like this seeding mix that I'm using. It's a finer mix, so it's a lot easier to get down and along these tight edges. All right, there we go. Got it tucked in nicely. Looks beautiful. We'll top it off with just a little dribble of water. Don't need a lot because, you know, no drainage hole, so. And once I get these inside, I'll take a wet paper towel and kind of clean up the pots. That is kind of the danger with white pots, but hey, it matches our decor, so. Yeah, that is perfect amount of water for that guy. There we go. And that is our little kitchen herb garden. So again, check out bobsmarket.com and look for the Karina's Kitchen section under How To. So we have our blog, Karina's Kitchen, Bob's Live, which is what this is airing on. It's also over on our YouTube channel. And then we also have Uncle Jim's Almanac, which is geared more toward folks here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. And then also the Keep Growing podcast. And again, you can find all of that over at bobsmarket.com.
All right. That is our episode of Bob's Live for this week. Remember, Memorial Day weekend, 2 geranium baskets for $37. And 2 caged tomatoes for $25. That's a nice deal, brother. I'll see you next week at 5 p.m. for the next episode of Bob's Live. Yeah.